Welcome back to Kick on Sports. This is Coach Charles. Now, football sometimes can just be one of those things that take away our minds from a lot. But this Manchester United game, this one just kept our mind on the game. In fact, we've not relaxed. In fact, we are feeling, Manchester United fans are feeling so awful about it. Um, I've had a difficult moment just trying to, and conceptualize what really happened yesterday in that game, because this City side was beatable. In the first 10 minutes we played so well, but we didn't really threaten the goal. We had chances, we had possession, we had good passes, good runnings, but there was no shot on target. There was nobody brave enough. It's like Donnarumma made our players just fear attacking his box, because anyway, the size of the man just scares you. He's such a huge guy. He's flexible. He makes those wonderful saves, and he's a Champions League winner with PSG. So I think United players just feared, you know, attacking the big Don. But who can't? But what we saw after 10, 12 minutes, I think was just something else, because City scored with their first opportunity. Dogu switching sides, attacking Shaw and just letting Shaw for dead. Like Shaw was out of place. Okay, I played not played football at a professional level, but anyway, if you're being attacked, you don't go forward, you go backwards. Why was Shaw even attacking this guy? He went all out to stop Dogu, knowing Dogu who he is, but this guy is sleek like sleek itself. You can't attack him at pace, because he will let you for dead. He'll leave you for dead. That is exactly what happened. Ugarte tried his best, but nothing happened. The ricochet, the ball went back to Dogu, a lucky pass, and Foden was there. Nobody was marking him, nobody was tracking him, because Bruno is supposed to do it. He's not built for that role. Then Haaland comes. The second goal was even crazier. These guys had a chance to clear this ball, but I think the cities, we just didn't tackle. That is the only thing that we could have done in that particular situation. Tackle these guys. Tackle this guy. But once the pass went to Haaland, it was very easy for him, because our goalkeeper made it so easy for him. In fact, he made the mind for Haaland. And then at the third one, don't even talk about that. That was crazy, low level kind of defending. Where were we? Yeah, in front of the middle of the line of the pitch, nobody to mark Haaland. You don't forget about Haaland. This guy is a speedster. He's a Ferrari. How will Maguire get to him? Those are some of the things that we saw that just made it crazy. But anyway, how are we going to look at this? First of all, consider subscribing to Kick on Sports. We are building this thing day by day. Anyway, the first thing that we saw in this game, the very, very first thing that we saw in this game is that the system, the 3-4-3 system as currently configured by Manchester United, is it working? Crystal Palace plays almost the same system, but it's working for them. They're getting results. They're winning cups through such a system. So you're asking yourself, what is it that Amorim is doing different? What is it that Amorim is doing wrong? Or is it the players again? Because we've talked about players being the problem all this time, but I don't really believe that. I do not believe that, because we have the players. We have the players who can play, but I don't think the problem is the players. I think the problem is the configuration of this system. We need an extra man in the middle of the park. Make it 4-5-2, make it 3-5-2, make it just change something. Because this system, the 3-4-3, as currently being played by Manchester United under Ruben Amorim, isn't working. That is the first thing we saw. The second thing we saw is that, why do we need those wing backs if they cannot float the ball in? If they cannot pass the ball in, if they cannot cross, they cannot shoot, they cannot join the play. They cannot affect the game positive. Because what we saw, Dogu, Mazuri, they kept recycling the ball. They kept keeping the ball, passing backwards, passing square. Every time looking for Bruno or Belmo, or why can't they go to the byline and bring those crosses? It is only until Mazuri was substituted when Ahmad at least did something with that particular slot. So the question is, why start Mazuri when Ahmad can play that role better? That is something that the coach needs to look at. Dogu was just, he was out of this game. He was not doing anything. No crosses, no tackles, no nothing. We were so soft on the ball Every time we were bullied out of it. You know, and City were very comfortable. In fact, City for the first time played a situation whereby they were countering Manchester United. Just imagine that. Manchester City of Pep Guardiola. Now, the third thing we saw is that Bruno is not an 8. He's never been an 8. He'll never been an 8. So the coach has to understand this. He has to start making these changes as soon as possible. And being arrogant about talking about if you don't want the system, you can change the man. Be very careful, Amorim, because that man may soon be you being changed, because it is very possible to let you go in this particular scenario. The fourth thing is that substitution. Why do you always substitute your defenders? I rarely see a big club substitute their defenders unless they are injured. You know, if you look at Liverpool, I've never seen Van Dijk being substituted. You know, maybe Konate, because of knocks here and there, he gets substituted, but only when there are knocks. Arsenal never substitute their men. Yeah, Gabriel untouchable, Masquera untouchable. When you go to Chelsea, the same system. To Spurs, the same system. How come Amorim keeps on substituting defender for a defender? Sometimes when you do a substitution, just get out the defender, bring in a midfielder, balance the game, change your system, change your ways, give us something to be proud of, to look at. Because this constant substitution of a defender for a defender is wrong, not working, it's not making sense, and we don't like it anymore. And yesterday, the coach got it wrong. Ugarte and Yoro were not on form. These guys had traveled many kilometers. They had played at international levels. These guys were not able to play in this game. In fact, Ugarte was so conspicuously absent in this game. I was wondering why or who is playing in that role. When Mino came in and Casemiro, you could see the difference. But then the game had already left us. So it means that whatever happened after that cannot be used to make any statistical deduction, because this was a City team that has already won. They are 3 goals up, so they don't even need to do much. So they let United attack. We had good attacks. Belmo had some shots, but nothing, because City had already won this game. So the question is, are we going anywhere with this Ruben Amorim guy? Is he the right man for United? Because personally, where I sit, and as I sit here, I don't feel he's the right guy. This guy needs to change, or change will change him. Consider subscribing to Kick on Sports. What do you think about my analysis? What do you think about the system, the wing backs not contributing, Bruno not being a number 10, number 8, poor subs, and Ugarte Yoro not being in shape? What do you think? Talk to me. Give me a comment. See you later.